me say come from the ring. Come I'll back and me say come do your thing. And if it's smelly and I put your bread sing. Some gal them a talk but they can't them a talk. And them a goggle, them a goggle. Deep throat gal them a goggle, them a goggle. Goggle them a goggle. Banana throat gal goggle them a goggle. Deep throat gal them a goggle, them a goggle. Banana throat gal goggle them a goggle. Goggle them a goggle. Goggle them a goggle. Goggle them a goggle. Banana throat gal goggle them a goggle. Now bleach from with my natural color. Time for rub now. Getting dark. Time to rub up one more time. Good day, my lovely ones. Good day, my lovely ones. Good day. Good morning. I know I don't feel like put on a makeup today because I've been wearing makeup all the days, and fortunately the glue on my eyelash, I'm kind of allergic to that, you know, as usually, so I can't. What did I do here? Okay, I see. So fortunately, I don't want to put on a makeup today because I've been wearing makeup every day I go out for the last couple of days, and I'm just tired of wearing it on my skin. So I'm not planning to do makeup on my skin for the next couple of days. I gotta take care of my skin. That's it. What did I do now? No. No. What the hell? Every time the devil messed up the stuff. Yes, so that's why I ain't got no makeup on, but I need to cream. I need to cream up, and so go back to my natural color. I'm almost there. I'm going backwards. Actually, I was very so dark yesterday. I put on a little pineapple and coconut cream last night. Why it looked like this was way darker yesterday. But I put on a little pineapple coconut in it last night, you know, because, you know what I'm saying? A little bit. But I think I'm going to go half and half. Half white and half black, you know? Like what most Africans do. They don't do from the belly button. They only do half of their body. They do their face, they do their neck, they do their hands, their fingers and everything. And they stop right halfway like a shirt. They don't do the rest of their body. So if you want to go black, you can just let the top alone back in the sun and your back all go together. I guess that's why they do it like that. You know? Once if the black part work out like spice for me, the bottom part, black like spice, then see if the part could work out for me like that. Spice around the place, you know? You know what I'm saying? Yo. I love you guys too. So bring in people. Come on, man. With the talk. Never will pass it with the talk. Come on, keep secret for one. So, we got talk. We have to talk, okay? Hello? Gonna have to talk, baby girl. What's going on with you all today? Thank you. See the likes. Yeah, I'm still fighting to get the nails off, man. Let me tell you something. This is hard than a rock. Trust me, I say hard than a rock for come off good. I try everything. I'm going to me for that soak it off in a chemical. I get off this one. I get off this one, and I have this one off and this one. But I try to get off the rest. So that's not going to put them back on again. And I've been putting that thing on my nail. It started to look better already. So I make it come back together. I'm not putting that stuff back on my nail anymore. Trust me. Why this thing is like that now? What the hell? Stop. God damn it. Stop. This is insane. This is insane. What the hell is going on here? What the hell? I don't know, buddy. I wanted to play this song. I was playing all the time, and all of a sudden, no. It's giving a problem. I don't know what is going on with it, so. It's set up in one way. I don't know what happened to it, you know. I'm not going to bother with it. Because I'm just going to play it for a little while anyway. So the devil always try to stop you when you're doing something, but even when I turn it off, it still, what is wrong? Okay. Yeah, put on some weight. I had to put on some weight, girl. I had to put on some weight. Let me tell you, I've been to a struggle, man, because I was so skinny. Try to put it, yes, me put on weight. Look, you can tell me put on a little weight. But me still can't go back to the bad food then because even yesterday I bought 2 roti. Because you know how I eat. So yesterday I bought 2 roti and trust me, I'm never happy with them. I'm never happy with them. That's struggle. You know what I'm saying? I put on a little weight. You can tell, so I put on back a little weight. Because I was way too small, like I tell you guys. But you see, I'm still skinny. You understand? I'm working out and the leg them getting firmer. They're getting firmer before it was just skin. You know? No, you can't see it, you know? You can't see. Actually, me press it, you can't see it's a mass in it. No, before it did, I'm not but skin. So, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see all this, never have all this little thing as me. We gain a little weight, but it's alright. You know what I'm saying? Everybody seems like I like how you look now. Now you're the right size now. You're not too big, you're not too skinny, you're just right there. Just hold it right there. They say hold it right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so what we want to talk about today, let's get to it. Welcome to the Aki and what? Sal fish. Welcome to the Jamaican dish, Aki and Sal fish. Aki and Sal fish. Welcome to Aki and Sal fish. And you know, this is Olivet Smelly. And I like to speak nothing but the truth. But I like to put it in a funny way. Or a funny context, what you might say. Many people don't understand patois. And many people don't understand Jamaican. Them say, oh, we talk? Please speak English, please. You know what I'm saying? Would you please speak English? You know? Some of them don't like it. But one thing I can tell is I can't take me to Jamaica. There is coffee, no sugar, no milk. Because I'm still not, you know what I'm saying? Yesterday I had a slice of cake, carrot cake. So I know how the carrot cake me throat. I had a bag of bullock, I did mash up. And because I had a cake last night, a slice of cake, I decided I'm not going to have no sugar or anything like I always do inside of this. No milk, no sugar. I really can't stand milk at all. Really. Milk is something I just can't stand the smell of it. You know? I just can't stand it. I can't. Me try if you put on weight as my usual milk, so I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't, if that's your way. So with the roti now, you know, they always make good roti, and I always eat a roti all the time. And it's good roti they make. I mean, people line up for that roti. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying nothing is wrong with the roti. I'm just saying my taste, my sense of taste is different now. So I bought 1 chicken roti yesterday and 1 shrimp roti because I knew that I was going to be working out all the time. And I knew that I'm going to be hungry and I need to eat. You know what I'm saying? So I bought those. And what else did I bought? The slice of cake, like I told you. At least I told the truth. And I came home and I said, I eat the shrimp one first. And I relax, I work out, drink a lot of water. And then I try to get a little nap. I get up and I eat, and I try to eat the next one. But it was really hard to eat these things. I'm going to tell you why it was really hard to eat it. The salt was so ridiculous. I mean, the amount of salt in these foods. And when I used to eat it back then, you know what I'm saying? It was fresh. It didn't taste that salty to me at all. Right? Because I was like, this is more healthier to eat than money and things because it don't carry that much season and that salt. But now that when I went vegan and I go back to buy it and eat it now, it is so disgusting. Honestly to God, it's just wetty, salty. It's just disgusting. Yeah? Disgusting. I would never buy it again. Honestly to God, maybe I'm just buy the skin alone. I make my own like a vegetable, I wouldn't want to put my chicken or shrimp and make it myself and put it in it. That shit is disgusting because you can't take all that salt and stuff no more. Your sense of taste is different. You can pick up on everything real quick. Your sense body is different, you know? And I like before when you're eating everything, putting everything in. So you don't taste no different and nothing too salt, too sweet. You just put everything, drink soda, drink this. But now you can taste the difference in something is really too salt or really too sweet. You just can't take it. You just can't take it because your sense it's really strong. Right? So that is a thing now. So I can't buy that no more because I really cook more. So you know what I mean? You know that already anymore. But soon, like I said, winter gonna come up if make sure everything sense. I have somebody come to put a lock on my door so I could put key inside and lock. So I have that done, setting up. Already looking after my papers so I can get my papers back in hand. I'm also looking about my card, my Medicaid, different things. I got my teeth fixed. So I'm doing all that already. I'm on the way doing that already. I start process for everything already. That's already, so I was up and down doing the other day. And so on and so on and so forth. So I could get my things together. So I've been doing that. So Basically, that's what I'm saying. Food is that different. It make me feel kind of funny in my chest, like, you know. All that salt, all the stuff that I ingested make me feel peeing up and all them thing. No matter what you do, man, bad food just can't be good for you. You try to put on like a weight, so make it just go ahead and take a piece of this and piece of that. You can't do no better. You can't do no better. You're already the belly of the beast. You can't do no better sometimes. You know, but you feel it when you think. So you make sure so you go. When I don't know, I'm going to market, I'm going to go and pick up more thing of kale and thing and make a big dish of raw stuff and put that in. Just put that in. All of that goes in today. I might have a little piece of fish and maybe some of the Rasta pasta from that restaurant at Church Avenue there. I like that restaurant. They cook nice food over there. You know what I'm saying? I have that and a scald that and some fruits. That's about, they sell some nice apple on a Church Avenue, $1 for two. And then apple, and it's so expensive over here. You pay like all $3 for two of them over this side in a certain supermarket, you know? They have good apples there. Yeah, man. But like I said to you, yeah, man. That's how it goes. The other day I went and I said, all right, then everybody's like, man, I've seen two of my ex-boyfriends, not really seen them. Like, seen them, they see me and talk to me. Online, I've seen one in person. Wanted to drop me something. And like when it's like, boy, you lose so much weight, man. There was like, man, where all your back part there? Come on. You know, that's your signature. Everybody could know you from the back because of your shape. What you have from behind, you know, and then now you lose all of that. You gotta put on a little bit more weight. Like, you gotta put on back a little bit more weight just to make your back part look good. I mean, people are going doctor for that, and that's how you look naturally. And I feel like you're going too much by like cutting everything out, and then you're losing the shape the way you usually look. And I don't think it's a time in your life you should be losing your shape right now. You know, you need to make sure you maintain that back part there, and make sure your shape good in the back, elevate. You can't make that happen. So that's why I actually put on back a little, because so much people was coming at me about it. You look good, but you can still put on more in the back and still look good. All you do have to work out the front and manage so you can keep that, because you're messing up your whole look, entire look. You have the shape that people are going to go to a doctor and pay for. So that's why I decided to put on back a little, and I put on back a little now. I put on back a little now, you know. Because before yes, I was flat. I didn't have anything here. It was flat there. Flat all the way down. But from the exercise and eating, it kind of come up a little bit and working out. I'm not running for this body and killing myself for body, but I want to be healthy. You know? And I don't want to be healthy and just have my skin hanging like cloth and then something bad happen to me because I'm not underfeed. You know what I mean? If I take my time, you know? I realized that, you know what I'm saying? I was going on real fast. That's why I don't understand people say they want to lose weight. How can you want to lose weight? And you're fighting to lose weight and it's just so easy to lose weight. It's like, click off a moment. Your body will lose weight if you're not put no grease inside, no meat, no fatty stuff, just vegetable. Cook up your brown rice, you put it on the side, you cook in a coconut juice, make it taste good with pumpkin. You can put saltfish, you cut up your raw kale, tomato, everything on the side. You get to find out not everybody can eat tomato, because tomato ramp up inflammation in some people's body. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different thing. But kale remove inflammation from the body. It remove inflammatory, all kind of thing. You know, it cleans the body. That's what kale does. It really do. The compound of it is really, really good, because in part of your body match the same compound and so on. So that's why I can't really go back and just do bad. I feel I will die shortly if I do that, because my body need to be cleaning out. It need stuff for me to be alive. I'm not young anymore. So, and so on. I can't do without it. If I do it for a day, I feel like I'm going to pass out next day, because yesterday I didn't have none. That means that today I'm going to have a lot. You know what I mean? Because I usually have everything together. You know, and I don't, but when I buy and have it, I let in the fridge. A lot in the fridge, I could show it to you right now. I have to go in the garbage, because I don't put nothing behind and use. So that costs me not to have on hand. But like I put the fridge in here when I get it and put lock on it and change my lock, then I will be able to store my stuff. God is willing and God is good. Right? And so on. And so forth. So I love you guys and I hope your day is going well today and so on. I have a story I want to talk to you guys about. Are you ready to talk about? Do you have time now to listen or not? Can you put a like up? We have 73 people. Can you put a like up so we could start this story? Put a like up, Goody. I want to start this story with you guys, my loved ones. Welcome to the Aki and Saltfish. Put a like up, and let's start talking. I love you too, Michelle. Yeah, I love you guys too. Brown, I love you too. Let's start talking real quick. Put a like up, put a like up, put a like up. We're gonna do it like this. We don't care what bad mind people say. I know, right? I know. Naturally. Naturally. No have on up on my eyebrow. I have no makeup at all. I have on like a lip gloss and it gone. I have no makeup at all. My natural eyebrow I'm going to grow back again. Go eyebrow and grow back again. I dig up my eyebrow last time and grow back. Anytime they grow back my natural eyebrow them. People used to love my eyebrow and it don't grow back. It used to be pretty and it go all the way. Enough I'm pretty. They used to grudge me for my eyebrow. Enough people. Bad mind for my eyebrow. Until the China man report me eyebrow and they blind me. No, me and my God make it grow back. I not shave it nor nothing. I make it stay the same way and grow right back like how God make it. It's so pretty. Me have remarkable eyebrow. People used to still talk, well, boy, your eyebrow pretty without no pencil or nothing for your face. Yeah, if you grow back now, you can see where eat up, see? Chop out, see? Make it grow back. And my ears grow all the way along my face. I used to straighten them off all right as I see it. My ear grow all the way along my face. Grow mustache too since I come here. Well, let's start. Well, let's talk about when I was, about what age I was. Let's say 35. Let's say 35. Right? Let's say 35. No, it couldn't be 35. Let's say 30. It couldn't be 35 because I'm 40 now. So it couldn't be 30. It's not 5 years ago. So like, let's say 30. 30? All right. Let's say 30 years. Right? I was living on Fulton Street. And when I was living in Fulton Street, life was pretty rough with me. I had a boyfriend that I truly love. And I had a rough time with him fighting with me and all this stuff. And I really love this guy. And he had a woman cheating with, and he had a girl in Jamaica that he was deciding to bring to the United States. And all these things, you know, made him fight over certain things because we were living together. And basically what happened, he had this woman from back home calling him and this and that, and his woman, and he's like basically living with me, sending his little money that he make to her, and all this stuff happened. So we fight, a lot of things happen, and I end up in jail, and a lot of things happen, you know. He end up in jail for hitting me and stuff too, and all of that happened. So in the midst of all this thing happen, I end up after, because of order protection and stuff, locking up my own place, I end up to Fulton Street, and that's where I went to rent a room upstairs, right by where the restaurant is, right in Franklin Avenue. From a man who used to run the place. The old building was owned by this guy was Italian, very nice person, and yeah, this Jamaican guy that was running the building for him. So he actually rent me a room, and I rent a room which a lot of guys was up there, you know, and so on, hanging out. A lot of guys rent rooms up there. I basically was the only woman living there as a younger woman, but I have to find somewhere to live. And it was quite rough, and I really wanted to stop dancing. Dancing is something that I really, really wanted to stop doing, you know what I mean? I mean, it come to a point in my life I didn't want to go to the club and dance. I have heartburn from drinking all that alcohol, and then I'm drinking, I sleep late because I'm hangover, and then just to get up to eat a piece of bread, to drink a cup of tea, ginger tea, just to put my clothes back on, and just to do it all over again, just to pay my room and just to support my son was going to Portland I in Jamaica at the time. So basically, things was pretty rough with me, but I still believe in God. And in everything that I do, I never give up faith. I never once believe that it wasn't a God. You know what I'm saying? I never once think that it wasn't a God. That's the thing. Even when I used to dance and been on stage, I always pray before I enter. And I don't know why. Why would you be praying before you're doing something sinful? Don't know, but I still believe in God. And, you know, I have a lot of thanks to give to God that, you know, He really bring me to this point in my life. And it's good to talk about my life, and I shouldn't make anyone stop me or trying to, brainwash me or blackmail me or trying to let me not be myself to speak about my experience, because my experience is not really for me, it's for someone else. I remember this one guy wanted to talk to me and I didn't want to talk to him, so he pulled his gun and he shot it off in the ground right next to my foot, and he just kicked the chair that I was eating my food and I just fell. I was so scared when I was up there. Yeah, they have a lot of rats up there too. I remember in a bucket, I used to have a pee bucket, that I pee in a bucket and then bring it to the bathroom in the morning. And I remember one morning I get up and it was full of rats. I mean, it was like 7, 8 rats in a little bucket of pee just swimming around trying to get out. It was just so disgusting. So disgusting. I remember that. And disgusting. I have to call one of the boys and give him money, please take that out for me. All little baby rats just foot up in the bucket of pee spinning around. You wake up to that, in the morning. It's disgusting. You know what I mean? So, all these things mess up with your brain. It's disgusting. So, yeah, I was there for a while, and I did not know what next I was going to do. I make my little money. I buy phone cards to call my son in Jamaica to make sure he's doing good. Send my little money, make sure to buy his food. Make sure who looking over him happy. Try to buy their love to make sure my child go well. Because sometimes when you have your children in Jamaica, you're trying to buy people's love so that we treat your children with love. But some of them just end up steal your money and treat your children like garbage and take the money to spend on their boyfriend and their children and themselves, making themselves beautiful and art in every art style, and your child is starving. I can tell you that. Right? Trying to do the best I can, but a lot of things that happened to me. I understand the devil took my mind. I understand he was trying to take my spirit, he take my mind, but you see, in the midst of all that, there was a light. There was a light of God, because all the time that I was doing wrong, I was praying, not knowing how much wrong I was doing. That means I had some faith that one day I will change. One day God will change me. One day I will see the light of the world. One day I realize what life really is. You know what I mean? So I work out all the time, because I think, at that time, not like it's not good to work out at all, but I was fascinated. I was fascinated with myself, of being better. I'm fascinated with the world that I was seeing in Hollywood and the magazine, and how these people become famous and how their body look. And I was too poor to not looking good. So I decided to start pump a lot of weight. I'm obsessed with weight. Now I don't understand why I calmed down so much, but I think I need to get back on the track. Not obsessed with the way to look to go this way, but just to get back in the mind of that person, who that person really was. But at the same time, I didn't like a lot of things that person did. That was a part of me. So while I work out and I got obsessed with the machine and I squat and I cried when I exercise, tears would fall out my eyes, because my body, I don't know how these things get in here. The windows out there are open without no mesh. So nasty. Disgusting. So I cried when I exercise and I squat and I pull my leg back. And I seriously would cry. Why I would cry? Because my body couldn't take the pain. My body couldn't take the pain, but at the time, you see, that's why when I see these in the street, I saw it and it was like love gift for me. When I saw this, I was happy, because it was 2 days or 3 days before I had the bigger ones, the big ones. And I left it somewhere to put up, someone to keep for me. They said they couldn't find it, and it hurt me because I love these things. I used to stay up night and day just pumping the big ones. Squat, push-ups. To ease the pain that I was feeling inside. Maybe the pain was because I was molested at 9 years old. When on stage and I used to dance, I remember when I twitched my body to make every bone feel like it was gonna broke. That's the only way I would have feel satisfaction of something boiling inside me very deep. It was like a pot of water boiling, deep, just boiling inside of me. I don't know if because of not knowing my sisters and brothers at the time, when I left my grandmother's house and then I went to my mother's house. I was about 9, 10. I never grow breasts yet before they start molesting me, that man. And then he locked me into a cell, a wardrobe that you enclose. And he said, no, you got to go to jail, time out. And when I went to my mom, I didn't get any help. I remember one day one of my brother was beating me with a stick that came from a coconut tree, all its branches. And I run to my mother, and when I get to her, she just shove me back out to him. I remember that day till today. I remember my friend, Chrissy, that passed away because she tells some guys off because she didn't want to date him, and he come back with a pump rifle and take out her head. I remember that. And I remember when I was almost 13 years old, about to be 13, when my sister come and pick me up because I run away. My mother got up one day and she said, I'm going to America. I want you to stay and take care of your smaller two sisters and your smaller brothers. I had 3 smaller sisters and 1 smaller brother that I had to take care of. I love them. None of them is beside me today, but that's okay. Such is life, right? Such is life. So, I went to this district with my sister. She took me to this place where mother-in-law and father-in-law, sister-in-law was all. They had a big house right by the street. They got lights and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? She was living more up on the hill, a little house with a zinc top and bottom. And she said to her sister-in-law, let my sister stay here for the night. One of my friends' mother passed away, so I'm going over there to set up. And when she went and I went to bed, this woman just had a young baby. Her name was Janet from Bybrook. And she lie on one side of the bed with the baby in the middle, and I lie on the other side. And to my surprise, I was having a nightmare that someone was lying on me. And as I wake up, I realize the whole house was in darkness, pitch dark. Now I know the devil was there with me, and I know the devil was arrived for my soul. See, that time I didn't realize it was my soul that the devil come to collect that night. And the devil said, I got a knife in your throat. And he jumped. And he said, if you move, I finish you. I come to such and such and such to you. And I try to get up and I try to fight. And I kick this buffet. I remember it got all this glass, crockery and stuff in it. I can't see it, but I know it was there and my foot hit it. But my feet didn't hit it hard enough for it to turn down and break everything. And I could hear the other people just in the next door. Just that door right there with the light. Talking and laughing and so close, but I couldn't get no help. And he do what he wants. And he strangled me. When I wake up, it was blood everywhere. I was confused. Yes, I was confused. I didn't tell anyone. I was confused. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what happened. I know a boy, and his name was can't remember his name, but he was a family towards him by the river. I remember going to the river and squatting in the river, and I was in so much pain. And I said, you know, this happened to me last night. And I started draw and I started walk. Through the community, I have no money. Just walking and someone see me and stop and give me a ride. And I have them take me back to my mother's house where I run away from the day after she left and come to America. I decided I get beaded over my back with machete. I still have the mark today. That's why all these things let me bleach, because when I don't bleach, I can see all these marks on my skin. Can you see that? It's machete. That is a machete. Take my skin out, machete. See, it printed like a tattoo. Look good. It printed like a tattoo. These are why I bleach. See, get that dark? That's a machete. From beating me over my back with a machete, take my skin out. Because the machete tells so far into my skin, I still feel pain. This place pain me. Even like that, it hurts because the machete messed me up. By beating me with the machete and it print out in my back, it looked like a burn. If you can look and see. So these are the things why I bleach, because I have so much cut marks. But so that was one more my brother that one day I was cooking some chicken back and I decided to taste the chicken, the bottom part that you're supposed to cut off, and that's when I put in my mouth and he come in and he said, why you eating out the food? And I was like, I'm not eating out the food. And he just grabbed me shady. But he said, I'm not. A little piece of thing fly out my mouth. He said, what is that? And imagine he took that big machete and he started beat me over my back. The machete took piece of my skin off and the machete, because it felt like I was a slave. And I remember one night he came in, was so drunk, and I was already peeing my bed because I was so strained. And I find him on top telling me, if you let me, don't fight me, let me do this with you, and you will stop peeing your bed. I will stop. And that time I was getting older, and I said, no. At the time I was getting older now, and I'm getting smarter now. So I decide to run away. When my mother left the next day, my big brother called me and he said, look, go to the store and get some cocoa bread, you know, so we can eat late and stuff. And I took the money and looked through the back. The rain was falling. I tied that one dress that I had in a plastic bag, threw it through the window, water was running, and I picked it up and run through the bushes. I saw a girl that I know, and I said to her, I want you to know I'm running away, so you're the only one I'm telling. And she was agree with me. She lived in Top Bay, St. Margaret's Bay at that time. And I jumped on that bus, and that's how I went to Windsor Castle. That's where my sister came for me and bring me back to the place where she introduced me to her in-laws, where they end up. The man came inside, the woman left, took her baby, and let her baby father come in and do this to me. This man has committed, you know what, before, and he also, his mother is a great other woman, and him get off all the time. So she allowed him, because she was scared of him, to come in and do what he done to me. So that's why I was not want to come back in that community. I was really, really scared, and up till to this day, I'm scared to go to Bybrook in Jamaica. Up till this day, I still is. I saw him the last time I went to Jamaica, sometime in '96, and I was by the river taking a bath, and I look and I saw him looking at me. The same man, the same man. So basically all these things happen, and after this happened, and they come and get me, because I went back to my mother's house after I got that ride, and I went back in the bush. That's where my sister baby father come and get me. Them take me to the hospital and pull out what, you know, from in my body, and all these things that took place. And after those things took place with me, I decided that where I left from there, I lived back with my sister, and living back with my sister, her baby father was a beast. And one day I went to the bush with his two sons, and with him, he said, we're going to pick coffee, because I used to wake up early morning, go to the bush and pick coffee and stuff. And he decided to grab me. He sent the two boys to cut wood and to take home to my sister, and he tried to grab me and trying to do the same thing to me. And I wrestled with him, and he ripped my panty, and my panty tear, and I got out when I run home. And instantly, it's like I got a headache. And my sister saw me, and she's like, what happened to you? And I said, I just got a headache. I couldn't want to tell her, because I don't think she believed me, because I didn't think my sister liked me. We are the same father, only both of us. So this is what basically happened. So at this time, my sister ended up pregnant, and after she ended up pregnant, she didn't want my father to know that she was still with the same man that was beating her, that she got 6 kids for. And my grandmother was very sick, so they sent a telegram to get help. So she sent me, and I went down there. That's when I was pregnant already with my son, because I met my son father right next to my sister. They have property. And he was a nice young man, and he started to take me down to buy jerk chicken and to the movies. And I ended up getting pregnant for him, but I had to leave, and the pregnancy was early, and I leave. And so on, which he said, my sister said the pregnancy wasn't for him. That put a big deal. My son never knew his father until he was 1 year old, when the father see him and like, oh my God, that's my son. Beside the point of all of that happened, I went to the man came back after me. My friend got killed, And after my friend did, the guy, she told the guy, whatever, kiss her ass, whatever. I was in the hospital about to have my son, and I give her my gold watch. She wanted to borrow it. When I heard she passed away, it was sad because my son was a baby. And then this man came back to try to do the same thing, to put his finger where, at the same thing, my sister husband. So at this time, I had to tell my sister how long this been trying to do this to me and how much time he make a temp at me. And my sister confronted him, and he decided that he wanted to finish my life. So he was coming at me with a machete, and him and my sister started a fight, and the machete dropped, and I got the machete, and I was looking where I could put the machete, and my sister kicked me with a foot and said, "Get out of this," and so on, and I have to take my baby, and I have to leave, because no, I left, I was in town, and my grandmother died, so I had to come back, back to where my sister used to help me with the baby. I was young, I didn't know too much. So she had to help me with the baby. But the husband of hers tried to do the same thing again. Trying a long time, and get you, and he's still trying. So this time I had to go back. But to go back, to leave where she at, I have nowhere but to go back to my cousins that I meet in Spanish Town. So I decided to go there and meet them. Live, because I met them before. And I speak nothing but the truth. And may God help me if I should die tomorrow morning. I want my soul to be free. I want to be honest within God, within thee. The truth are nothing but the truth, to the light of the world. Many might not like me anymore. Many might not speak to me anymore. They're already not dealing with me anymore. It doesn't matter anymore, because I will die in peace if I should die tomorrow morning, in Jesus' name. And like I said, that's where I went. And when I think I could get away, it wasn't good enough, because one of my cousins had me at a knife point, and he was actually being with me when he wanted. I remember one night one of me and my cousin go to a party, and he came for me, and he had a big machete in his side, and he put it up, and it was so white. He's like, "Go, man, take care of your baby." Because I know my son, once he drink, he never wake up. He never wake up. He never wakes up. He just never wakes up once he go to sleep. But he knew that to where the door I got to walk to the room had to be locked. I had to walk to his room, because our grandaunt wouldn't let her out. She don't like us going party and stuff, so she would lock the main entrance where we walk through. I remember there, going through all this abuse and stuff. And, it's not feeling good to know that you end up pregnant for your own family. Your own family. So I end up pregnant for my own cousin. And it's like, he's like, "Go and sleep with this guy and tell the guy like you and this and that. I'm going to come after him, whatever." I remember my father sent me money. I remember that time when my father sent me money. If he's at the end of the world. And going through this for a while, my son was crying. When I go to the back of the house, I was crying so bad. I remember my son, he couldn't speak. When he said, "Mama," and he's crying on his knee. He was walking on his knee, because he able to walk good on his foot. And he said, "Mama, Mama, no cry." He's trying to tell me, say, "Mama, don't cry." I remember I go through that deep depression of time. Like, real, I wanted to sing so bad. I used to could sing like Celine Dion. The voice that I used to have would make me a trillion, a millionaire. Trust me, I used to could sing, girl. You hear me from a million away that this girl got a voice as a little girl. That's why I was singing in so much church. So, the devil want my soul. I don't know who sold my soul. I know who responsible to put a bid on my soul. It was my dad, because he want my head here. He requested that he wanted my head here and all these things. So, I don't know. Whatever he was into, right? And all of that. I'm not involved, but whatever it may be. It's supposed to make me not to be anybody in life, I guess. Anyway, I'm pregnant for my own cousin. Had my own baby on my side. And remember, I'm only about to be 16. I'm about 16 years old. 16 years old. And I had a baby on my side. And my cousin's having a full relationship with me without my authority or want to be a part of that. Misery. I remember going to try to get a job. And I went to Kingston. And I borrowed $5 from my other cousin around the corner to take the bus. And when I get there and went to the agency, I leave my baby behind with my other girl cousin. And when I get there, the woman tell me $10. I was like, "Miss, I don't have no money. But if you help me with this job, I will pay you. The first payment, you take it out." She's like, "No. You need to have the $10. Man, I storm out of there. I had a big afro, beautiful afro. I'm darker than this. And if I had my real hair, it wouldn't be like this. It would be all the way down to my waist, because that's how my real hair used to look, big afro. But I'm darker skin. Look same but darker. Basically. So I cried on the roadside, and I bent over, and this gentleman come and he said to me, What a beautiful girl. Look at your head up here. Your hair's so beautiful hair. Why are you crying? Beautiful girl, get up. And he held me by my hand. And I said, sir, I had a baby and my baby father don't even help me. And I'm here. And I'm trying to get a job and I can't pay the fee. He said, don't cry. That's what you're crying about? And I remember he take out $100. And he gave me the $100 to go to a store next door. And he said, change it. And out of the $100, I want you to take 50 and give me back 50. And I bring it to the gentleman. He said, you know what? I have a $50 change here. I just want to see how honest you was. And he walked away. When I was in the agency, I saw him with a beautiful woman with 2 children. It was a twin. And he came back to get me to work for them. Anyway, it was a long story. I want to cut it shorter because I want to get to the bottom. He ended up wanting me to sleep with him after a while. So he fired me. He stoned me with stone out of his yard because I didn't want to sleep with him after a couple of months. He think I was hard enough. Just like my cousin did. So my father sent me money. I lose the job. I started walking around Spanish Town Market and making ear clips. Scoochie, the ones with the elastic with the material is sewed, you string it through it. Yeah, that, and then you sew it up that little hole. Scoochie for your hair, to put around your hair. I saw walk around Spanish Town Market. Scoochie girl, $1 scoochie, $2 scoochie, $3 scoochie, and the scoochie girl. Go and sell the scoochie. Sometimes I have to bend on teeth yam. Sometimes we bend on, my cousin and me bend on with me and push piece of yam between me like my cousin behind us, bend on and pick up it in one bag. We can't afford to buy with a bungalow callaloo, or sometimes we can't buy kidney and so on and flour. It was rough. It was really, really tough. So when my father sent me money, we usually can buy a grocery, but I realized I was like, no, I got to get an abortion. So I went to the doctor. I already was a good doctor. I wasn't too far from the house. Because like no matter what, I'm not going to have my family child. So I went up in there, and when I went up in there and stuff, man, the doctor just take my clothes off and just, start surgery on me, from where. And with like a vacuum cleaner, and it's no anesthesia. And I'm like standing there screaming in horror. It's like a horror film. I'm seeing everything that's happening, and I'm feeling all the pain. And he said to me, it's not the same way it goes in, the same way it comes out. No anesthesia. Nothing. It's just like a machine. We're just mashing like a blender, blending my inside and pulling it out. I'm telling you, fall into a jar in front of me. It was horror. Complete horror. It was so bad that when he done with me and padded me up like a donkey and I left out the office, the only thing I went was diving on my face on the street side. I end up on the streets like this on the ground dying. My body. And they have to take me and pull me back up in there. When I wake up, I was back in there. I don't know what they give to me, but I was out for hours. When I wake up back, I feel much better, and I was able to make it home. I make it home. I called my cousin. I said to her, I said, listen, one of my girl cousins, I said, I got to trust you. You know, this been happening to me, but I didn't want to tell you because I'm afraid you go and tell your brother. She said, what? I said, yeah. So I was at this test stand. You know, they have this pipe with this concrete thing, and the water is running. And I'm like, bathing my son, make him stand up, and I beat him off. And next thing I know, cook, there's a big rock hit me in my head. I realized I fell to the ground. And I do like this, was blood coming from my head. The guy took a stone and bust me in my damn head because the girl go back and say something to him. I had to go to Spanish Town Hospital. I didn't want to call no cops. I was afraid for my life. I came back, I stepped at a phone booth, and I dialed this number that I got. And I got this man on the phone. And I said to him, is you my father? And he said, yes. I said, well, if you're my father, you better come and bury your grandson and bury me. He said, what? I said, I'm dead, and your grandson is gone. Me and my son is gone. So you can come and take care of the rest of that. He said, hold on. I said, no. I said, I'm tired. I'm tired of going through this. Did you know my such and such cousin did this to me? I'm tired. I'm ending it. I'm finishing it. Me and my son is over. It's done. We are gone. And he begs me, and he said, no. There's another way out. I'm going to get you out of this. I'm going to get you a visa, and I'm going to get you out of this. Just give me at least 2 weeks, Oliver. I'm going to get you out of this. I remember going home, had my son, and decide that I have to leave. I gotta leave. I gotta go back to the country, go back to my sister's house, and try to figure something out. So I grabbed my son, and I went back to the country. I go back to my sister's house, and there's a lady that a whole house that was next door. And I inquire, who owned this old house? Nobody lives in it. And I went to the old man and the old woman in Bybrook, further up the hill, and I rent the old house. My father still send me money, and I rent the old house, and me and my son live in that old house. Like I said, a big scorpion that long, not a scorpion, a 40 legs. When the rain fall, they climb up on a little old house. Big was just crawling on the baby blanket. I flush it so damn, can you cook it? It was hard for me to sleep in there. You know what I mean? But I was surviving. My baby father came to see me. He killed goat, him carry meat, he killed cow, and he carry baby feed. And when he couldn't get no grind, he decided to say, him not want to bring it. But I was getting ready to get out of there. It wasn't that long. And I remember when my paperwork's come, it wasn't that long. I was so happy that I was going to come here and so on. So, you know, I was so, I don't know, maybe I was delusional. So I decided to go back to Spanish Town to tell them that I was leaving. You know, my cousin that I was leaving, my girl cousin that I liked that I was leaving, and I got through and I was about to leave and so on. So I remember I was so happy that I was get away from there for a little bit. And I remember having this purple and orange big heel shoes that I bought because my dad sent me money. I bought a fake gold chain and I'm like a tight stuff. I'm like good. I was walking. And I went to Spanish. They're like, hello, hello, hello. They're like, oh my God, I remember her. So where you come? You just come from America? I said, of course. I just come, you know, and chicken is so cheap. Oh my God, chicken is so ridiculously cheap and it's so expensive here. That time I never left it and I never leave Jamaica yet. I'm just telling the truth, my personality, what I had. So the people are like, why she go? Why she look good though? That time I never left. I was about to leave in 2 days. But you know, everybody was looking at me and think somebody really left because they look good. But look at money my father sent me, I don't have to share it anymore. You know, I'm in the country and I'm getting ready to leave. And when I do my medical, I do my son medical. My dad was trying to get my son up as my son, as his son, but it wouldn't work. My son cried so much. I did my medical, did everything, and I was able to fly out and come here. My dad and my mom was at the airport that collected me. And like I said, you know, what happened later on when he make a pass at me, that really hurts me. When my dad asked me, can you do, like how you cook the soup good, can you do the same in bed good as you cook the soup? And that was an insult to me, you know, and so on. And, you know, I remember, it's really deep. My uncle don't even stay in touch with me. I know he used to take care of me when he's sick, but he used to do the same thing. When I was sick and I was pregnant, he used to come and do all this stuff to me, you know, and say he taking care of me naked and stuff, one of my panty and I rub down and stuff. I never forget all these things, you know. And that's when my grandmother was sick and I was pregnant at the time with my son, you know. And yeah, and this lady, church lady, should go back and tell him because I tell her and I jump out of a tree, you know, because I didn't want to be pregnant, you know, I had so much going on. And when I realized when my baby found I was pregnant and he was ignoring me, I climbed a tree and jump out the tree, you know, and I never finished, you know, and I ended up in the hospital and I kept bleeding. My son weighed on 9.5 pounds, but his foot was messed up. I had to straighten him out, maybe because I jumped out the tree. Yeah. So, that's before I end up coming here. And so when I end up coming here now, and I had to leave my son behind, I left my son with his grandmother and his father and so on. They sent him to school. They was taking good care of him and so on. And he's a dead stump as his father. He's a twin like his dad and all of that. And so on, like I said to you. I end up coming here working for $4 minimum wage, $4.25 an hour. I was working in Fulton Street for quite some time. I have a bad accident. I take out a piece of my foot, but I didn't know about lawsuit and too much. So they advantage me to sign a paper real quick and give me a couple of $100. Didn't worth much. For my foot, I still have a dent today from the place that pulling up from the ground. They pushed the thing up while I was going to the restaurant and I fell right down in it. And the piece of place. And so on. So a lot of things happen. So I go through all of that, and like I said, it's stripping, Blacktail Magazine, Big Butt Magazine. I was here when I did Blacktail Magazine, and I met Jason just before that time. And things would happen, take care of my son, send money back home, make sure he go to school, good education. He passed. He come out in the newspaper as a good kid. He go to Portland High. My son is very educated. He have the education I never get. I thank God for that. He's here right now. He's a licensed electrician here in New York. He went to Job Corps for many years. He also is a herbalist and so on. I'm going to get a website so you can buy your herbs and so on from his business and support his business online and so on. God is good and God is willing. Even a couple of days ago, he sent me some money. God is good and God is willing. I have a son. Um, so on. So basically, what happened with that, I end up on the Fulton Street after going through so much, and with this guy and everything. I end up on Fulton Street, and just trying to lay low when I run into this old man coming out of the same building that has a rat in the bucket, and I bunks him down, and he said, "Honey, you can bunks me anytime." And he commanded $50 for me for lunch. I never asked him for anything, and he was nice to me. And there's a gentleman that was his friend. Like, listen, this man doesn't have a family, doesn't have anybody. He's alone. He got a house around there, and he needs somebody to help him. You have a crackhead girl who smoke a lot of money and just do nothing to help the gentleman. So therefore, and then, you know, you need to go around here and take care of him. I'm going to stop it right here, and we're going to continue part 2 because I really want to pee, and the story is long to finish. So log right back on. Just give me like 2-3 minutes because I really want to pee. I love it because the story is long, right? So we're going to left off from Fulton Street where we meet the old man. We're going to left off from there. That's where I'm going to start back from because I'm getting to something very important and something that's happening now. That's why the story come up, okay? All right. Gosh, I'm getting old, man. It a burn me.